What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to T3G. My name is Dollyboard, and today we are finally talking about this bar light. I turned that on by accident. I didn't even mean to. Stay tuned.
Whatever it is that you do the damn thing.
Now, this is the Willed. Like the way it's written, I would say willed, like willed into existence. 3-watt LED light bar. It is a white 4500K light. Now, functionally, it has three features. So there are three physical features on this. One, which is the most important, it has a magnet on the back. It comes with two of these. It's a magnetic plate inside a plastic housing with double stick pre-applied. So wherever you put it, it's magnetically attached. And it has a pretty decent, range of like the angle, which I appreciate. That could have been done with just like a flat piece and it just sticks out the one way, but I appreciate that you can angle it, maybe you angle it up a little bit and it hits you get a little cast lighting or whatever. You get some options, and we know I like options. The reason I only have the one in hand is because the other one was disassembled because it, as you can see, lost the rear sticky. It fell off where I wanted it back here. It fell off, and I was like, well, that's where I want it. I want it behind the camera. This is for the podcast. If you're not watching Panels on Pages and are into comic books, I don't know what your life is about. Well, this is a desk for older computers. It's meant for this giant monitor here, but I've got plenty of space. So I was thinking, hey, I'm gonna put this back there, but I think that back, I don't want to call it wood. Like, it's not really wood. It's like that press board, like sheet. The lamination on there apparently does not have enough grippy texture, maybe. That's my guess. And the double stick fell off. As it fell off, it got dirty, so like the double stick tape essentially became worthless. So I took it off, and I was like, well, how do I now I'm out one of these. So I said, hey, why don't I just screw it in? This is what I ended up doing. I took it apart, and I went ahead and drilled holes straight through. I found the appropriate size drill bit, and I drilled through the plastic. Ironically, it has these posts inside that hold up the metal piece, so it just kind of flushes up against it, but they're hollow, so I went ahead and just put two holes straight through. And then when I came to mounting it, I was trying to figure out how to put it together, because I was like, well, it's just plastic. If it's going to be there, it could eventually like warp, and whatever screw I put through it is just gonna slip off. So I said, hey, let me put a couple nuts on the inside, right? And then I said, all right, well, what do I have that's like a comparable, like a small enough nut size and something that will be able to screw into it? Well, computer parts. These are standoffs. That's what I'm going to be using to screw them in, because this is still behind. I mean, there's barely enough room for my hand to go back there, so I wanted something that I could keep a grip on and not just like try to screw something in like with a tiny screwdriver. And the nuts on the front are actually from a fan screw set that you would attach to a case. So it worked out. They're not like a perfect fit, but they're like snug enough where it's going to hold on to it. And then I thought they were just like really going to fit perfectly inside of these slits. They did not. They like weren't quite perfect. So I ended up cutting out one of them, and that didn't really help. So I said, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to grab this Gorilla Glue. I'm going to glue it down. And I just let it sit probably like 2 days, and they're not moving. So that is what it is. Now back to the light. Obviously we have a charging port. It is micro USB, so it's not USB-C. So we lost the train of USB-C devices, but we'll get back on that train very shortly. You'll see. I'm testing something else now. And on the other end, we have a touch power button. So it's going to go to full brightness, whatever you set that at. And then if you hold it, it's going to go up or it's going to go down in brightness, which is nice and convenient. And you can actually see, maybe you can't see it on camera. Let me try a different angle or something. No, you really can't see it. When you're looking at it at the lower light, you can actually see that there is a white and an amber. I always say amber, but like a daylight light and a not daylight light LED. You can see that there's two different LEDs creating this color temperature, but it is a fixed temperature, so there is that. However, for something like the podcast, I don't need a lot of variety as far as lighting, so for me, this was perfect. I needed something that will be fixed and something that I could use. As luck would have it, I've still been able to use this light for my podcast because, ironically, I have one of these classic school rulers set up. It's an 18-inch ruler, and it just fit on it. I put a nail up here, and it fit, and I've just had it up there always. Because it's magnetic, you really can't attach it to whatever is magnetically conductive. So for me, it's just been vertical instead of horizontal this whole time. However, it's closer than I would prefer. I would like it to be further back to have a little bit wider of a cast of light. So that's why we're still doing this. Now, what we will need to do is make matching drill holes. You can actually see where the previous sticky tape came off. How centered is that? So if we say that fake grain mark is the middle, and divvy up. Okay. Actually, I may not even need the drill. This is very, very light material. Nice thing about this is it doesn't need to be perfect because it's just a pass-through hole. Yeah, no, there's no chance. No chance. Let's see if she will help us. All right, so I couldn't actually use the super glue without, it was interfering with the actual bracket, I guess, being flush with the panel. Let's call it a panel, sure. So I actually just pushed them back, so they're just kind of back there, and I just super glued the hell out of the back of this, and we're just gonna let that sit and see how it works. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and get our gear back in place. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn this one off since we no longer need that one. And we're gonna show the difference. Now we have, this is where it's used to being. Now, okay, we'll turn off the top as well. So this is where it's been. Typically, we're much more zoomed in, right? This is how it's been, along with the backlights, which we'll talk about in another video. And this is what it's going to be now that we switch over. A little terrified because I don't want it to fall down. I feel like I'm getting a lot better separation from the background. Whoa, whoa, where is it? Where is it? Get off me. Ah, fuzzies. Or no, I think that's just a missed spot of hair. I think my DIY haircut was not really well done. Anyway, guess I'll have to fix that. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm getting a much better separation from the background. I think that's going to be a little kind of key situation there. We're darkening up the top here since we're not projecting up. And just generally speaking, I like this look a lot better. I'm glad I've got it set up. This is, I think I stopped at about halfway, so let's go all the way up. I guess we're gonna go all the way down first, which basically is like not having a light at all. All the way up, which is pretty intense. I'm gonna bring it down to about half. I looked at the lights again. I gotta start like practicing not staring at lights. Cause now I just have a bar of light across everything. Overall, I think this is a good look. I'm a fan. I'm glad I got it set up now. I'm gonna take it off to still like allow like another 24 hours, let's say, of the for the glue to set and everything. But I also set up this charging cable. I used actually one of my lav clips to hold it up. That way I put the charging port on this side. That way it's all set up. But yeah, that's what it looks like. That's what I'm looking at. Obviously, once this is done charging, the cable will come down. Yeah, I'm a fan. I had to switch batteries because the 3 other batteries that I have for this series are all dead. So I had to switch to this camera, and this battery had to come with. Ultimately, I would say this is a solid buy for a light. These are less reliable than I'd like them to be, but I am gonna probably put it, I mean, I don't know, I might even just hold on to this as is and use it in another video, or like if I have a need later on, I can just attach this even temporarily to hold the light up and give me a different kind of lighting situation. If you want to check out this light, link of course is down in the description. Affiliate link as always, and if you use that, I appreciate you. If you have any questions about the light, about the setup, please let me know in the comments. I've got 2 more videos. It was going to be 1, but I found out something recently that I'm going to have to update on, and so there's going to be 2 more videos on this whole podcast setup, and I think I actually might even do a 3rd one for an actual computer build for this, because right now it's laptop. I'm using that as just a monitor. It's kind of a messy situation. I've got a desktop that doesn't get used down there. It's a messy situation, so I think that might even be a separate video. Something along the lines of a best budget podcasting computer setup, something like that, maybe. We'll see. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.